So Caitlin Clark was back playing a sport again. Unfortunately, it wasn't basketball as of yet, but she did officially take the golf course. And the most important thing that came from that to me was that Clark did say she is now 100% healthy. She was interviewed on the Golf Channel. Obviously Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham are there as caddies, and all the fun and the shenanigans that ensued. And Caitlin obviously takes any competitive activity seriously. But the most newsworthy thing, and it jives with the fact that she had planned to get back to 5-on-5 basketball at the end of October, is that Caitlin Clark said she was indeed and is indeed 100% healthy, which is the most important thing, and really what we waited really too long to hear. And here's what she said.
In terms of injury view, does that mean you've played a little bit more golf this year?
Unfortunately, it means I've played less, just because I haven't been able to get out there with some of the injuries that I was dealing with. But now feeling back to 100%. So, been trying to take advantage of the fall weather in Indianapolis before it gets too cold. And obviously, being down here in Florida, the weather makes it pretty easy to play some golf. But getting in as much as I can. Obviously, I stay pretty busy, so I don't get to play as much as I would like. But when I do, it's always really fun.
So 100% healthy, the most important thing for the Golf Channel is going to want her to talk about golf, of course. And she did have some nice moments out there on the golf course, that's for sure, including this shot right here from deep. You bet. Shouts to Ryan Rucco. And she points, like she once did to him, to her favorite caddies over there in Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham, who were also involved in some of the action out there. That they gave it a shot. They gave it a try. Didn't quite go as well as it did for Clark there on that hole. Here was Lexi and Sophie out there. This swing from Lexi. She doesn't really get too much distance on the ball here, as you can see. Not exactly a Happy Gilmore drive there from Lexi. Caitlin having some laughs. And then Sophie got out there and gave it a shot herself. And I think she hit somebody in the crowd with this one. Had to go over and check on them, because you could see at the end, she winds up over with these people in the crowd. Somebody had kind of laid on the ground and pretended to be like they were struck. See that guy? And then Sophie winds up signing some stuff. And the person said that it was worth it that it happened. So as you can see, a lot of fun being had, which is nice, and there's the autograph courtesy of Sophie Cunningham, which took this whole event to a different level, having the Fever girls, if you will, out there on the fairway. And obviously everybody wants to see them back. We got to wait on the CBA and how all that works out, but that was also answered by Lexi and Sophie.
Yeah, I think she just elevates everyone who's around her. She's a phenomenal player, generational player, and I think everyone sees that. We missed her out on the court this year, but depending on the CBA and what's going on, hopefully we're all together again. But I think the thing about Caitlin, she's just a great person. She's fun, she's silly, kind of still just a kid, and so a lot of people see her in a serious light, but we kind of get to see the goofy side of her.
So that was Sophie Cunningham and her interview, and just an all-around seemed like a fun event. And the way that Caitlin Clark is received at these events, I've talked about that before, but it just goes to show you the magnitude of her star power and the celebration, of the elevation of women's sports. I mean, Nelly Korda, who is, a huge star in her realm, had to give it up. And this is like the common theme you see.
Describe this atmosphere. We've got two of the biggest sports stars in the world, yourself and Caitlin Clark. Describe this atmosphere.
It's crazy. I mean, that first tee was something out of a book almost, but it's so fun. It's cool to see how many people she brings together to another sport, and it's fun to hang out with her. She's super cool. We saw each other actually last week at an outing. It's nice to be alongside greats. I mean, even her teammates are super fun. So it's been a blast.
And then Caitlin also, takes her golf apparel very seriously. That was another aspect of all this stuff where she was out there modeling before she got started with the fever, and wanted to make sure that she has her golf, her golf PEs appropriately styled before she puts them on. Lexi and Sophie, of course, appropriately styled right there, as we've seen throughout some of the other footage out there. And then, like I said, there was what Caitlin said before she actually took the tee. And this whole thing presented by Gamebridge. So some corporate synergy between Gamebridge and Nike and everything else that was on display for fans to see.
So I'm wearing clothes, and I got these nice golf pants. I like them because they're kind of joggerish. I got these Eastside golf shoes, the blues on the bottom. My newest golf PEs are a work in progress. I need them to be perfect, so that's why I'm not wearing them right now. And then I have this beautiful baby blue little cropped sweater thing. And sorry, nothing there. On this side we have the CC logo, so that's pretty cool. And then the white polo underneath, and it has a CC logo on the side too.
The CC logo. That's, but she talks about how it had to be perfect. Maybe that's a little bit of an insight into Caitlin Clark as far as her Nike deal went and why it did take so long. And she really clearly put a lot of thought into that logo, that it could have a bit of a logo legacy, if you will. And now we see it on the product and everything. So perhaps that was a thing that added to the delay of her signature shoe and her signature line and everything that is going to be on the way. But it seems like a lot of fun was had out there, which is good. It's good to see everybody smiling. It's good to see Indiana Fever players back together. It's obviously good to see Caitlin Clark back out in action in some way, shape, or form, because we kind of took it for granted, to be honest with you. I think we all, I certainly, I guess, took it for granted that she would just be healthy and out there, because we saw it through Iowa and through her rookie season, and unfortunately it didn't happen in her second season. But the most important detail to me is that she did say she felt 100% healthy. And I would imagine that there will be lessons learned from the Indiana Fever season as far as, her training and her body mechanics and all those things that she will apply during this offseason and through next season and through the rest of her WNBA career. Can't go backwards, unfortunately, and fix what happened, but I think there probably will be some progress as a result of that, or some lessons learned as a result of that. And in the meantime, she's giving Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull and her Fever teammates, who I'm imagining will be her Fever teammates again next year, golf lessons.